right, liberal climate alarmists are at it again. Forget about ISIS and communist China. Democrats now say climate change is the largest national security threat facing our nation.
The bottom line is that the Democratic Party and the House Democratic Caucus is the party of national security in the 21st century. We are the party that's dedicated to rule of law, to affirming our connection with our allies, to addressing the largest national security threat facing our planet and our country, that is climate change, which is both a threat multiplier and a threat magnifier, and dedicated to doing this in the right way.
All right, and the liberal media is wagging their finger at moderate Democrats who refuse to support Biden's radical green agenda. A Washington Post reporter claims that Senator Joe Manchin delaying Biden's climate bill could have fatal, permanent, and global repercussions. Meanwhile, climate protesters putting the brakes on Tour de France by chaining themselves together and blocking the roadway. Officials were forced to physically drag the activists away. Now, a part of me wants to talk to Greg first, but I'm not going to talk to you first, Greg.
Why? What did I do?
No, because I could feel that you were laughing about them being dragged away. But the first thing I want to go to is I want to go to you, Katie. I want to go to this whole thing about the Democrats are the party that are aligned with the rule of law to address the national security threat facing, the largest national security threat facing our planet, which is climate change. I'm not even going to ask you about the rule of law thing, but how is this a national security threat? Climate change.
And it's an excuse to scare people into getting on board with all of these proposals. If any person in Congress who believes that climate change is the largest national security threat to this country shouldn't be in Congress because they're not doing their job to protect the country. China is the biggest national security threat to this country. And the green, I say green because it's not really actually green, environmentalist agenda, which is extreme, emboldens China. It allows us to buy more solar panels from China. It allows us to import them because we can't build them here due to a lot of our environmental regulations, like what you said earlier about we're allowed to be morally superior here and have, clean, green air, but we're fine with having, China have dirty, polluted air. It's a national security threat for the country for the left to be pushing this agenda, which is going to cause an energy crisis here at home, but also we're seeing it in Europe. And more importantly, it's going to cause a lot of human pain and suffering. So when Joe Biden was in Europe 2 weeks ago, and Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, proposed that as we're seeing the shortage of food and wheat across the world, that maybe we should just temporarily turn over some of these biofuel fields that we're using for green proposals to be used for food for human beings for just a little bit, a little while. Joe Biden said no. So they are willing to allow human beings to suffer and to starve for the sake of their agenda, while at the same time, the very people pushing this agenda don't live by their own rules.
And Jesse, he said that we Americans, we agreed to suffer and pay higher gas prices, too, during the Ukraine war because we want democracy over there.
I don't know. Do we now? With gas prices the way they are, I think in the beginning everyone was like, "Oh, Ukraine," and now everyone's like, "What's going on in Ukraine?" People totally forgot about Ukraine. That congressman was weird. Did you guys listen? No, it's true, Geraldo. This war in Ukraine could last 5 years, 7 years, and Biden's going to still say, "Oh, we have to suffer for Ukraine."
I seem to remember
Not
somebody
everybody
here
agrees
saying
with
this maybe 4 months ago and getting a lot of grief.
Seriously, Katie, that was really poignant of you.
I know, it's a great point, like always.
Listen, and what are they doing now in the streets? Are they knifing car tires? That is the last thing you want to do to convince anybody.
The climate activists.
Yeah, the climate activists.
Not the Ukrainians.
If those Ukrainians jab some more blades into those Russian tanks, that'll change the tide of the war.
All right, Geraldo, talk to me about these climate activists. They're not happy with Biden. They're really unhappy with him.
I have a slightly different take because I do believe that the world is warming. I think we could all agree, whether it's natural causes or accelerated by man-made activity, I don't know why. I do know that we are facing several existential crises, not the least of which is inflation. It is time to deal with that emergency. It is time
inflation,
to stop
not global
the fight.
warming.
Right, the inflation.
Right.
The people have to eat. You don't starve people as a way to reform the climate, to save the planet. You don't make people die to reduce the population. So I just think that it's a question of priorities, and Climate change is not the most emergent issue in the world.
All right, Geraldo speaks finally. The reason I wanted to go to you first was, do you remember last time, I don't know if it was it one of the Starbucks where they were gluing their hands to the counter, and you made some funny jokes about the fact that, what makes people think that, that we're going to side with them because they're gluing their hands and interrupting the flow of coffee drinkers. And these people chain themselves to the roads or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you see what the Italians do? They pick them up and throw them over the side.
We love that. I don't believe that China is the biggest threat to America. I believe America is the biggest threat to America. When you see, to Geraldo's point, our priorities are so skewed that we're willing to basically unfree this country, make the blue-collar workers and the blue-collar voters suffer. I think this is also why Democrats are losing the blue-collar vote, is because they're championing these abstract issues in a very foolish manner while making the lives of regular people miserable. So it's not just the vandalism, but it's also the no drilling, the shutting down of gas stations in California, the banning of gas mowers, the demand to embrace expensive electric cars that require batteries, that require digging using gas machines for their little batteries. The legal question I have for you is, if you find somebody violating your private stuff, like shivving your tires, can you beat their ass to a pulp? Is there a legal, seriously?
To a pulp.
To a pulp.
Yeah, if no one's around.
No, but, let's say they go,
That was a joke. Put the camera on me. Put the camera on me. That was a joke.
Depends. But the thing is, there should be a risk. Make it into a game. Okay, you guys want to try to do this?
Greg.
No, if you're going to do this, we have a free punch rule. So if we find you, we get to punch your lights out. Then it's kind of fun.
There's some places they wouldn't do it for the purposes of feeling afraid of the repercussions.
And what is punching your lights out? What exactly is that?
You would, let's say, unconscious.
Unconscious. Good. All right, let that go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.